There is an enemy that walks with you every day. It wakes when you do. It whispers before your feet hit the floor. It lives in your hesitation, feeds on your distraction, and thrives in your comfort. It is not out there in the world. It is not your boss. It is not the market. It is not the competition. It is not the doubters or the critics or even the failures. It is within. It is the quiet voice that says, maybe tomorrow. It is the reflex that pulls you back when you should leap. It is the illusion that safety is strength and that comfort is peace. That voice, that is the real enemy. It is fear disguised as reason, doubt disguised as logic, weakness wearing the mask of caution, and it's been robbing you day after day of the man you were meant to become. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But how many of us live like we are powerless? How many of us wait for the world to give us a sign, a break, a reason, when all along the battlefield was inside our own minds? That is the enemy you must fight, not once, but every day. Because the real war isn't fought on the outside. It's in the choices you make in silence, the ones no one sees, the ones that shape everything. When you hit snooze instead of rising, when you scroll instead of studying, when you delay the call, dodge the responsibility, mute the voice that says this isn't who you are, that's when the enemy wins. And he doesn't win with a sword. He wins with softness. He doesn't scream, he seduces. He tells you you've done enough, that it's okay to rest, that everyone else is taking it easy too. And he does it not because he's loud, but because you're tired, and he knows you're listening. But if you would rise, if you would live with the fire of purpose, you must become a different kind of man. A man who does not listen to comfort, a man who does not flinch at resistance, a man who knows the real enemy is not the pain of progress. It's the price of regret. It's the heaviness of potential unused, of strength untested, of time wasted. Because while you hesitate, life moves. While you complain, others build. While you doubt, others dare. And in the end, you are left with two options: destroy the enemy within or be ruled by it. The mind. It is your greatest ally or your greatest traitor. Train it, shape it, own it, or it will own you. Mindset is not a quote on a wall. It is war, daily, relentless. You do not get it by thinking positively. You get it by enduring pain without folding. You get it by telling yourself, I don't care how I feel. I care what I've committed to. That is what makes men unshakable, not luck, not genetics, but clarity and consistency forged in discomfort. Carnegie didn't rise by staying safe. Disney didn't build magic by waiting to feel ready. Ford didn't revolutionize transportation because he avoided risk. They all saw the enemy: hesitation, fear, mediocrity. And they walked into it with open eyes and closed fists. You must be willing to go to war with your own weakness, to stare it down in the mirror, to say, you don't speak for me anymore. That voice that says you can't, that's not your voice. That's the voice of every moment you let comfort win. But today that ends, because there's another voice, a deeper one, a quieter one. But it grows stronger every time you choose discipline, every time you choose the hard thing, the true thing, the necessary thing. That is the voice of who you really are, and it is time to let him speak. You want belief? Earn it. You want confidence? Build it. You want peace? Fight for it. Nothing comes from wishing. Everything comes from work, from showing up in pain, in doubt, in silence, and doing the thing anyway. Not because it's easy, but because you said you would. Because the man you're becoming is watching. And every decision writes his story. He does not rise from praise. He rises from pain. He rises from failure, from fatigue, from facing the enemy every day and saying, "Not today. You don't win today." And eventually, that enemy shrinks. Not because it's gone, but because you've grown too strong to be controlled by it. You've trained your mind to obey the mission. You've built a will that doesn't flinch when things get hard. It locks in deeper. That is how warriors are made. That is how kings are crowned, not by birth, but by battle. And your battle is here, in the everyday, in the unseen, in the silence where no one is cheering. That's where your legacy is built. So stand up, steal your breath, and walk back into the war, not for revenge, not for ego, but because the enemy is waiting, and this time, you don't run. Because the man who refuses to run becomes the man the world can't shake. You were not meant to live your life avoiding pressure. You were meant to be forged by it. You were not designed to break at the first sign of discomfort. You were made to rise through it. The enemy whispers, "Take it easy," but deep down you know, ease is a lie. Comfort is a cage. And every second you spend negotiating with weakness is a second you steal from greatness. This world will not hand you peace. It will not hand you strength. It will not hand you clarity or purpose or honor. You must earn it from yourself. Every morning, every evening, with every choice that says, "I will not fold." Discipline. That is your sword. Belief. Your shield. And the battlefield is your life. Your goals, your health, your mind, your future. Every second, you are either advancing or retreating. There is no pause. There is no neutral. Marcus Aurelius knew this. He lived with war in the world and war in the soul, and still he rose. Still he ruled not just Rome, but himself. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That is not a slogan. That is a command. Do not wait for permission to live like the man you admire. Do not wait until you feel ready to become the warrior within. There is no ceremony, no applause, no gate you walk through that says, "Now you are worthy." You decide that with action, with presence, with the refusal to surrender. And what about belief? You want confidence? You think it will drop from the sky because you want it badly enough? Belief is built like muscle, under tension, under resistance. Every time you step into fear and act anyway, you gain ground. You want to stop doubting yourself? Then stop avoiding the work. Show up. Prove yourself to yourself. You are not owed clarity. You fight for it. In the moments when everything is confusing, when your emotions betray you, when the path is dark, that is when you earn certainty. Not by knowing, but by continuing. Vision is not something you wait to receive. It's something you build by doing, brick by brick, step by step. You carve out the man you want to become through decisive motion, not endless thought. The enemy wants you thinking forever, planning forever, questioning forever. Because it knows the longer you think, the less you move. And the less you move, the more you shrink. But the man of purpose does not hesitate. He feels fear and moves. He feels doubt and acts. He feels chaos and chooses calm. He is not perfect. He is practiced. That is how warriors think. You think Lincoln waited until he felt strong? Until he was certain? The man faced civil war, family death, failure after failure. But he walked through hell because the mission demanded it. You think Edison invented light without darkness? You think Mandela didn't feel pain in those decades of prison? Greatness is not about avoiding the enemy. It's about choosing the battle that matters. And if your battle is with weakness, then that is a holy war. You must wake up every day with fire in your chest and defiance in your eyes, not to prove the world wrong, but to prove yourself right. To become a man of discipline, of character, of steel. The kind of man who doesn't just survive the storm, he commands it. When temptation calls, you don't answer. When mediocrity waves, you keep walking. When fear rises, you rise faster. This is not motivation. This is a warning. You are either defeating the enemy within or you are being ruled by it. And if you don't choose to fight, the fight will still find you. In the mirror, in your wasted time, in your sleepless nights filled with what ifs and should haves. But if you do fight, if you pick up your sword, steady your soul, and charge forward anyway, you won't just survive life. You'll dominate it. Not with arrogance, with alignment, not with noise, with clarity, not with reaction, with reason. That is the Stoic way. That is the only way. And when your body is tired and your mind starts begging you to break, you remember who you are. You are not your thoughts. You are the commander of them. You are not your fear. You are the fire it fears. You are not the victim of your past. You are the sculptor of what comes next. And every moment you choose strength over softness, direction over delay, order over chaos, you step further into the man who cannot be shaken. The man who wakes with intention, moves with conviction, speaks with purpose, and finishes what he starts, because the finish line is not a place, it's a person. It's you fully realized, not the version built by others' opinions, not the one shaped by fear or forged by failure. The true you, the one buried under years of hesitation and hiding and half effort. That man is not a fantasy. He is waiting. But he can only emerge when you kill the real enemy, kill the need for comfort, kill the addiction to approval, kill the story that says, not yet, not good enough, not you. That story is a lie. The enemy wrote it. You've read it long enough. Burn it. Because every excuse you've ever told yourself was just the enemy wearing your voice. And now it's time you reclaimed it. Your voice should be a weapon, not a whisper. It should speak truth, not limitation. When you say, I will, the world should feel the ground shift beneath you, not because you're loud, but because you are certain. Certainty doesn't come from thinking. It comes from moving, from showing up over and over, even when your hands shake, your mind rebels, and the path ahead is unclear. Certainty is born in chaos, through clarity of mission. What's the mission? It's not fame, not fortune, not followers. It's you, becoming whole, becoming disciplined, becoming undeniable. This isn't about being better than others. This is about never betraying yourself again, never settling for almost, never letting fear speak louder than your principles. The world will try to pull you back into comfort, into conformity, into the cage of compromise. But the man who knows who he is cannot be caged. He is not distracted. He is not desperate. He is not driven by panic or applause. He is moved by mission, and he carries that mission in everything he does, in how he walks, in how he works, in how he speaks to others, and how he speaks to himself, because he has silenced the enemy within. Or at least he knows its voice, and he no longer obeys it. It still tries, it still whispers, but he knows now that voice is not truth. It's a test, and he passes it. Every single day, look around you. Most people are drifting, distracted, divided in their own minds. They say they want success, but they fear discomfort. They say they want change, but cling to excuses. They want freedom without the fire that forges it. But you, if you've listened this far, you are not most people. You are not here for shallow victories. You are here to be transformed. You are here to destroy the internal chains, the habits, the impulses, the lies, and build something unshakable in their place. You are here to dominate the real enemy, so breathe deep, plant your feet, and declare war on every weakness that dares to rise inside you. You are the general, the soldier, the standard bearer of your future, and when others fold, you fortify. When others run, you rise. When others drift, you drive forward. And one day, not far from now, you'll look back at this moment, at this war you fought inside, and you'll smile. Not because it was easy, but because you chose it. You chose to stand while others knelt. You chose to act while others hesitated. You chose to believe when the world gave you every reason not to. And now you walk with the quiet calm of a man who has earned his freedom, because the real enemy is no longer in control. You are. And that changes everything.